For this course, we study the history of economic thought. So introduction is usually study some of the history, how the historical background actually shape the economic thought, and then how the economic thought reshape the background, and then whether it's still applicable now or not. Right? Because this some of the economic thought may be created or started 50 years, 60 years ago, then will it now be applicable or not? Right? Okay, when you talk about economics, they usually link heavily to so-called capitalism, right? Production, you use capital to produce, so everything is so-called capitalism economics, right? But there is no general agreement on what is capitalism, what is the features of capitalism, what is the characteristic of capitalism, right? Of course, mostly or generally, they're based on economic system, right? Economic system, in this case, they see the mode of production. Long time ago, where very long time ago, where you just have plantation and you plant for own self consumption, then you use a very low technology. But now, like even though you plant paddy, your paddy field is so wide. You use machine, you use fertilizer, you use science and technology, so it's different type of mode of production. So the bigger size that use capital, heavily invest in capital, so like in this case we call capitalism. So that the definition or characteristics of capitalism heavily linked to the mode of production, and of course in this case you also link to force of production. Force of production here constitute of productive technology of society, right? For example, technical knowledge, skill, organization technique, right? So forth, like science and technology I mentioned just now, right? Then of course the social relationship of production, tools, machine, all these things, how the things work. Last time, long time ago, it's just a barter trade. You plant some paddy, I raise some chicken, and I give you some egg and chicken, you give me some rice. So the relationship is different, the mode of production is different, so the force of production is different, right? Understanding and applying the economic school of thought should be done together with knowing the historical background. They may have formed the economic thought or being changed by the thought. You see, understanding of and applying the economic school of thought should be done together with knowing the historical background. The historical background may shape how the school of thought come, and then may have formed economic thought or being changed by the thought. So after this economic thought gain popularity, has very big influence. So the economic school of thought itself will change the background. Right? The background may shape the economic school of thought, and then the economic school of thought may change the background, right? Some of the examples school of thought is like France. They are a problem in France, so they have this school of thought, and then after that, this school of thought may change the economy in France, something like that. Okay. Now, long time ago, we have this called pre-capitalist European economy. We have this called feudalism. Feudalism is like you have many landlord, many lot mean like master, right? You see some of the Hollywood movie or some TVB movie also, you can see that like this very rich people, they have their own gang, their own gangster, right? There's some even own their own army, right? So they are the lot, right? Then those farmers work for them, but they may be a small lot, right? No, they may be like a kampong, they are the biggest, right? They are the most rich, they are most powerful, right? But then they also have to they are under a bigger lot, right? They control, in the city, they control few kampong, and then this bigger lot may under a bigger lot, right? Then the bigger lot may be under another bigger lot. So at the end, they are all under the king. But at the end, there is no central government authority during that time. So you have one person, all these are normal ordinary person, farmer, right, under like let's say a rich man become the lord, and this small lot will under another bigger lot. The bigger master will be under a bigger master until at the end the king. So it is there are so many hierarchy that so the king or the central government has less control, less direct control to the peasant. So there's no strong central government here, right? So this thing happened during the decline of the western part of the old Roman Empire. Last time you study history, the Roman Empire, they conquered the Europe, and when they decline, they collapsed. So there's no one to protect them, no empire. So this vacuum is filled by creation of feudal hierarchy, right? Serf peasant, right, protected by the lord, right, who in turn own allegiance to a higher overlord. Right, just like I mentioned just now, at the end, the system went ending imagine the king. But through so many hierarchy, right, so many layer of lord and overlord and overlord, and then the king. Therefore, the higher one, the king, and then the highest overlord may not have a direct control to the bottom one, the peasant, right? So no strong central government. So they call the entire organization was based on a system of mutual obligation and service up and down the hierarchy. For example, the farmer will have to pay protection money, right, to the master so that they will protect them, right? Maybe from bandits or for other thing, right? Then the small master will have to pay money to the bigger master so to protect them from war, outside intrusion, outsider attack, because they have bigger army, for example. Then the outside overlord will be protected by the king because the king have even more army. But at the end of the day, the control from one layer to one layer become less and less and less, right? Of course, during that time, the Catholic Church also has a very big influence, right? So they, now, how this pre-capitalist economy actually evolved, right? Later on, we'll link back to the history school of thought, right? Last time they plant the crop, they have two fields. I mean, they plant field A, and then after that, next they don't plant again. They go to field B, and then the field A, B, A, B. Then later on, they improve the system to 3-field system. So field A, B, and then B, C, and then C, A, and then A, B. Right? So by this system, they actually increase the production of agriculture. So when they have increased the production of agriculture, they can have a more ability to rear like domestic rearing animals. One of the most important thing is horse. So when they have more oak and then other crops, right, to feed the horse, then they can rear more horse, and this horse will replace the oxen, right, as the principal power of the agriculture. Horse in this case had a more advantage compared to oxen. For example, horse actually can run faster, right? So therefore, the transportation can extend for a further length. Then they are more efficient compared to the oxen. Right? So in this case, you see, one thing change to one thing. You change the production system from 2-field to 3-field. You can produce more crops, more agricultural product. Then you can produce more horse, and more horse can give you more efficiency. Then you can transport your human, your community, and then to further place, you can trade more, you can earn more money, more income. Then when you can use your horse to go further, you can cover more land, then you can even produce even more agriculture. So population will be growing. Then you may have some urban concentration, right? Then manufacturing and economy become specialization. Important thing also, inter-regional long-distance trade and commerce also improve. Because last time you use a cow, you have to carry your hand to trade with just nearby kampong or nearby a rural area, another nearby rural area may be even very far. But now you got horse, you can carry even much further, maybe 5 times or 6 times or 10 times further, right? Then of course later on you see technology increase. You have ship, you have compass, you have telescope, you have this navigation, you have people go and explore and come back and draw the map. So your exploration become international, right? So that one more on the mercantilist school of thought, right? Then intellectual, in this case, you see all this kind you can go back to, let's say, like exploration. You can link back to mercantilist school of thought, right? Then the power shift, right? And then the image of nation state when the king become bigger, and then the government becomes stronger, right? Then specialization, you go on the classic school of thought, right? So that's the end of this chapter 1.